Allies had successfully exploited the vulnerabilities created by Germany's overextended Western Front. Strategic strikes had delayed offensives, reduced morale, and allowed resistance groups to operate more effectively. Every successful disruption forced German commanders into reactive decisions, undermining their earlier precision. Back in Berlin, tension reached unprecedented levels. Hitler's generals warned that pushing forward without pause could risk a catastrophic collapse. "We cannot sustain this tempo indefinitely," General Keitel argued. "Our soldiers are exhausted, our supply lines stretched, and the Allies grow stronger by the day." Hitler, ever determined, struggled between maintaining the offensive and acknowledging the limits of concentrated power. Even his closest advisors sensed that the gamble of avoiding the Eastern Front had reached its precarious apex. On the ground, German soldiers experienced the human cost acutely. Units that had been highly efficient were now forced into defensive maneuvers, facing ambushes and sabotage from a population increasingly emboldened by the Allied push. Civilians bore the cumulative weight of war. Towns were destroyed, families displaced, and resources scarce. Resistance fighters coordinated daring operations that further strained the already taxed Wehrmacht. The combination of overextension, Allied coordination, and local resistance signaled a turning point. Germany's concentrated strength, initially a decisive advantage, had become a liability, exposing vulnerabilities the Allies could exploit. The war's momentum shifted. The Western campaign no longer guaranteed rapid victory, but instead threatened to bog Germany down in a prolonged struggle with escalating human and material costs. As winter approached, Europe braced for the next phase of the conflict. Germany's gamble, foregoing the Eastern Front to focus exclusively on the West, had created unprecedented early advantages, but the Allies were now seizing control of the initiative. The stage was set for a clash of attrition, ingenuity, and endurance, one that would ultimately determine the outcome of this alternate history.